So I'm just going to do a little overview of the Detect Ed Beach Sand Scoop today and why it's a little bit different and interesting. One of my favorite things about this scoop is the really shallow cut angle that we've got for this nose. That allows it to weave through rocks and shells and clay much easier than your blunt nose type scoops. And that's essential when you've got storm conditions or pretty much any good conditions, because rocks start to get exposed and you really want to be able to get through those rocks and in between them. And having a snub nose really does not go through the rock. Now, I've also got a much more reclined handle on this scoop, and that allows me to dig a lot steeper into the ground. A lot of the time I see most people detecting, particularly because they're using a certain type of scoop, they're only digging into the ground at a really shallow angle like this. But with this one, I really want to go straight down to get the most depths. And that's because a lot of modern detectors these days are really deep. And so we want to get as deep down as quickly as possible to get that target, especially when the hole's caving in. Now this scoop is actually really quite light. We've eliminated a lot of material where scoops tend not to fail and kept materials or even added materials where the scoops do tend to fail to keep it as strong as possible. The majority of metal detecting sand scoops have a handle that's either bolted on or welded onto the front here. We've intentionally eliminated that for a couple reasons. So the purpose of those handles is if you're not using a really long handle, then you can use the scoop by itself. But honestly, I don't see many people using scoops like that. So what that means is when you're using this type of scoop, normally that handle actually gets in the way. So when you're digging, the handle will be sticking out the front here, especially if it's rocky or there's hard sand. It just digs into the sand. It makes it a lot harder to dig. And it also adds an extra 100-ish grams to the overall weight of the scoop, which is huge when you're detecting for hours on end. So on this end of the scoop, we've got a really lightweight carbon fiber handle with excellent strength. And then we've also got this unique D-grip handle. This is hugely beneficial when you're dragging the scoop around or when you're pulling it out of a hole or when you want to turn the scoop over as well. We've opted to use removable pins on the handle here so you can actually take the handle off really easily. You don't have to muck around with bolts, and you can take it apart for travel if you want to. And on the back, we've actually got a strong neodymium magnet, and that's on the inside. So when you do detect something that has any kind of ferrous component to it, like bottle caps or bobby pins or hooks or other iron targets like that, they'll just stick on the inside of your scoop, which is really helpful. So all in all, when we set out to design this scoop, our intention was to make it really lightweight, super ergonomic, and capable of digging deeper and faster than your average scoop, and I think we've done it. So if you'd like to check this scoop out, head to the Detect Ed store, and I really look forward to seeing what you guys are finding with this new scoop.